this curse wheel. It'll fuck your team up. Welcome to the Week 3 NFL Power Rankings. The curse wheel is back to full strength. Sorry, Saints fans, but the curse brought down Jameis Winston. Something the criminal justice system failed to do. I will spin this little wheel of hell at the end of the episode to see who it curses this week. And the Power Bottom 3 will return as a short, so make sure to check that out as a short. Probably up Wednesday. And the Lions are in the top 10, which means you are now eligible for the Curse Detroit, a true honor. Let's start here at number 10 with the Giants. That's right, the Giants haven't won pretty, but when you've only won 22 games in the last 5 years, no one gives a fuck if you beat the Panthers by 3 points only at home. After everyone pretty much gave up on Saquon Barkley, all he's done through 2 weeks is lead the NFL with 236 rushing yards. The Jaguars might actually be a better football team right now than the Giants, but I've got to show this 2-0 team some love because I'm sure Dan Jones will have them off this list soon enough. Seriously, only Mitch Trubisky and Justin Fields have fewer passing yards than Jones. Number 9, the Chargers, falling quickly. It's comforting to know that the Chargers can field a Hall of Fame caliber QB for 2 full decades and still manage to charger at an incredible pace. Justin Herbert has 6 touchdown passes, and the one mistake he's made this season ended up costing his team the game in Kansas City on Thursday night. After being bullied by the Republicans for being too liberal, Brandon Staley is taking a much more conservative approach to the season, and now he's coaching like a neutered dog. Just like this country, Staley needs to find the middle and compromise there. The thing killing the Chargers, though, is their inability to run the ball. They're trying, with 55 attempts this season, that's tied for 10th most, but their longest rush through 2 games is just 12 yards. That's tied for worst with the Texans. I can't explain how a team who can throw so well can't break off a few big runs, especially with Austin Eckler in the backfield. Look, the Chargers can't run the ball, but somehow, fullback Xander Horvath leads the team in receiving TDs. That's a Charger stat for sure. And a great way to support this channel is through my coffee company, BenchwarmerBrew.com. We've got mugs, we've got coffee, we've got Tom's tea bags. And the cheapest way to get my coffee is to sign up through the subscription service because coffee's not cheap. But if you want a hot cup of my beans in your mouth every morning, that's the only way to do it. And I do have Big Dick Patreon shoutouts for new patrons. R.J. Lawson, Braden, Tony Montana, Charles Vesley. The Seattle Seahawks own the Denver Broncos. Jeff, both fumbles would have been turnovers on downs. Perna, go Hawks. And Steve Was. Patreon.com/thatsgoodsports. I will be scheduling our Zoom meeting for next week for all $10 patrons and $10 YouTube members. Number 8, the Packers. The Packers are either starting to click or the Bears are worse than we thought. Why NBC keeps subjecting us to Bears-Packers on Sunday nights, I don't know. Oh, it's historic? Well, you know what else is historic? Child labor. Doesn't mean we should keep doing it. Unless, of course, it makes our iPhones and shoes cheaper. Also, the Bears are dead last in passing yards through 2 games with just 191. Somehow, Justin Fields is a better passer in a monsoon than in normal weather conditions. Aaron Rodgers has just 2 touchdown passes in 2 weeks, one of which was a 2-yarder to Allen Lazard, but Aaron Jones is averaging 9.1 yards per carry and keeping that offense working on the ground. Number 7, the Ravens. Up until around midway through the 4th quarter on Sunday, I think I was ready to put the Ravens firmly in the top 3 until the Dolphins started their incredible comeback. The Ravens had started the season outscoring their 2 opponents by a score of 59-23, and then Tua happened, and we found out that the Ravens secondary might be a little more limited than we thought. I think that's a product of experience. The Ravens have 2 rookies in Jalen Armour-Davis and Kyle Hamilton that have had a few miscommunications on the back end that led to touchdowns. Also, Marcus Peters returned, and so did his ability to get burned, but without a game-changing interception to balance it all out. Number 6, it's the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have managed to dominate through 2 weeks despite not getting all that much out of old-ass Tom Brady. This Bucs defense has allowed just 13 points through 2 games, and 7 of those points came firmly in garbage time against the Saints. It's fair to wonder if this Bucs offense might be missing AB and Gronk more than we thought. Brady has only targeted his tight end 7 times for 3 receptions in the first 2 weeks. I think we will know much more about Tampa, though, after they play the Packers this weekend. And number 5, holy shit, it's the fucking Lions. Damn right, I got the Lions at number 5. Sure, you're 1-1, like 80% of the teams in the NFL, although I'm pretty sure that would clinch the division in the AFC South at this point. This is the best the Lions have looked early in the season since 2014. Detroit is true grit. And not just because it's on Dan Campbell's hat, or because Jeff Bridges, who starred in the True Grit reboot, would be the perfect man to play Dan Campbell in a biopic. After we watch the Eagles dismantle the primetime Vikings, I think Detroit's Week 1 performance in a loss to the Eagles carries a bit more weight. Amon Ra 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 ra. St. Brown, I did a raw for all of his receptions over the last 8 weeks, is a top 5 receiver in the league, and he is on a heater for the ages. This Saint has the Pope watching the Lions every week instead of the team from New Orleans. The Sun God is currently outperforming Devontae Adams, more yards and more touchdowns on the same number of targets. Brown is the 3rd player in NFL history to record 8+ catches in 8 straight games, joining Michael Thomas and Antonio Brown. In the last 8 games, he has 8 touchdowns, 64 catches, and 740 yards. Here's where I might get in trouble. My keenest observation about the typically lowly Lions is that their luck may be changing. Luck may finally be on the Lions' side. There was a play in Sunday's game where DeAndre Swift, who is the 4th leading rusher in the league right now, fell down. He fell right the hell down, but got back up and scored a touchdown. If that were any Lions team in the past, that would have turned into a disaster, a turnover, probably a turnover. But now, Detroit has the 3rd most rushing yards in the league at 372, and that was after Swift saw limited action Sunday. The investment in building in the trenches is paying off, as Dan Campbell is making it harder and harder to beat Goff. If Campbell can get the Lions to the playoffs with Jared Goff, we have to start talking about Dan Campbell like we do Sean McVay. Jared Goff, while leaving us all wanting a bit more in the passing game, does have just 1 interception to 6 passing TDs.
That is beautiful.
Number 4, I've got the Dolphins. Your NFL passing yards leaders are Joe Flacco, Carson Wentz, and Tua? Your touchdown leaders actually make a little more sense. Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, and oh shit, Tua and Wentz? I like Tua, but I can't say that I expected this. But I guess that's what happens when you throw 6 touchdowns and close to 500 yards in one game. Now, I'm not suggesting the Dolphins are better than the Chiefs, nor am I saying Tyreek Hill made Patrick Mahomes, but damn, Tua has 144 more passing yards than Mahomes, and the difference is Tyreek Hill. That trade is paying off. Here's what's crazy. I don't think the Dolphins have put together a complete game yet. Tua was struggling a bit early against the Ravens. Lamar Jackson was torching the defense. Good news is they don't have to play Lamar Jackson anymore this season unless they meet in the playoffs. I think Mike McDaniel is just getting this team started. Number 3, it's the Eagles. All that matters, Philly, is that you didn't let down Bradley Cooper, who was at the game on Monday night. And while his portrayal of Eagles fans and Silver Linings Playbook didn't show how crazy all of you really are, any football fan would have to be insane to not see how good this team is right now. Now, I streamed this game with one Tom Grossi, and it felt like Philly had a very quiet rushing evening. Looked at the stats today is 163 rushing yards and multiple rushing TDs. 2 by Hurts. That's a quiet game for the Eagles in terms of rushing. So pretty good. My only advice for the Eagles is to clean up some of the penalties. 8 on Monday night, and it felt like quite a few big plays were negated because of penalties. Jalen Hurts looks like he's maturing as an NFL passer. I saw a guy who was decisive in the passing game, and unlike week 1, did an excellent job spreading the ball around. 8 different guys caught passes, and Devontae Smith led with 7. So it was nice to see them correct the 0 he had week 1. Also, thank you Darius Slay for prompting this hilarious tweet. If you had wide receiver hands, you might have set the single game record for interceptions. Number 2, no surprise here, it's the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs proved on Thursday night that experience matters when it comes to winning games. It's not a stretch to say they were thoroughly outplayed by the Chargers for most of that game. But when push comes to shove, they just managed to make the big plays at the most opportune times, whether that was the pick 6 by Jalen Watson or the touchdown grab by Justin Watson. All I know is that Watson and Mahomes can solve any crime, unless it's one of the dozens committed by their own teammates. It also helps when your turnovers get overturned by the officials, but hey, I know the Chiefs are good. This team will have to adjust, though, to the loss of linebacker Willie Gay, who was suspended for 4 games after an altercation that stemmed from someone making fun of his name. Just kidding, I don't know why he got mad, but that seems like a good guess. We will find out how good Leo, son of Coco Chanel, is in place of Gay. A male fashion icon getting a shot because of a gay. That actually does make sense. Gay will be out. Don't say of the closet, don't say of the... For a couple big games against the Buccaneers and the Bills, but I'm pretty disgusted that the NFL is still doing everything in its power to keep gays off the field. Grow up, NFL. Now, Patrick Mahomes is currently the only quarterback who has started both games this season and not thrown a pick. And number 1, it is the Buffalo Bills. I'm sorry that I'm not being original here, okay? I gotta put the Bills at 1. But it's rare that the most hyped team heading into the season actually delivers early. My main concern right now for Buffalo are the injuries that are piling up. We all saw the scary Dane Jackson hit on Monday night. The good news is he suffered no major neck or spinal injuries. The bad news is he never wants to see teammate Tremaine Edmonds, who hit him, ever again. Ed Oliver and Gabe Davis did not play. Jordan Phillips left the game with a hamstring injury. Micah Hyde was carted off with a neck injury. And Matt Milano, who is making the great people of Tennessee want to forget the Titans, also exited with a stinger, which is a less scary word for a head or neck or back injury. But even with all of that, the Bills still kicked the shit out of the Titans. The Josh Allen we saw in the playoffs is just who Josh Allen is now. He's a complete quarterback. He's the best QB in the NFL right now, in my humble opinion. We know he has the strongest arm in the league. We know he can be a threat with his legs, but his mind has hit veteran elite level. He's taking what the defense gives him, and when I watch him, it looks like he is seeing the entire field with clarity. Oh, and Stephon Diggs is leading the league in receiving touchdowns and is second in yards. And now we bring back the spin wheel, the curse, to see who gets cursed. All right, I spin it this way, right? I think so. Correct way to spin. Who we cursing today, Satan's little wheel? Oh, we back on 8. Who did I put at 8? Who is it? Oh no, it is the Packers now. I originally had the Packers and the Chargers swap, but then I put the Packers ahead at 8, Chargers at 9. Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. I'm sorry, Grossi Posse. I know you guys are gonna be pissed. Oh, fuck. No, you're playing the Buccaneers. This hurts me, too. I hate you. I hate you, little wheel. This looks like a butthole, you stinky son of a... Thanks for watching the Power Rankings. Please subscribe here on YouTube, and don't forget to check out Tom Grossi's Power Rankings as we compare ours every Wednesday morning on our hit show, GPS.